Hello my friends, and welcome back for part 2 of this rock tumbling action video. Alright, so the first week has already gone by. Can you believe it? That fast. And we're ready to swap out our grit for the final polishing stage for these beautiful rocks. This guy has been going non-stop for a good 7 full days, cranking it out. So let's get ready to dump this thing. First I'm going to unplug it. That cuts out a lot of noise, and we're ready to dump and clean these rocks out. So let's get to a sink and a bucket where we can dump this into. Alright, so here we are at the good old kitchen sink. I've got my bucket right here that I'm going to pour all this garbage into. I've got my strainer that's going to catch everything. It's always handy if you can do this outdoors, but unfortunately, got to make do with the best what I've got. And of course, the old tumbling barrel right here. So let's pop this bad puppy open. Use your washer to kind of pry this right off. There it goes. This gasket off here. Good stuff. You can tell it's really been working good over the last week. Get that seal nice and clean. Set this aside. Boy, I've got rocks everywhere. You can always tell you're a rock collector when you've got rocks even in your kitchen sink. Alright. Let's dump this in here now. Give these guys a real good clean. Ooh, I forgot I cabbed this pie. Whoa. Look at that. That's another good one. Ooh. Alright, anyway. So let me clean this barrel out now. That is really filthy. Uh-oh, would you look at that at the very bottom there, though. This one tried to be elusive and sneak back in. Oh, that's a little guy. I don't even remember polishing that one. I domed that out a little while ago, though. Ah, piece of obsidian is what it is. That's cool. I like that one. Alright, throw that in the pile there. I think that's everything. Yeah, now we can clean this out. An old scouring pad here. I want to make sure this is really nice and cleaned out. Make sure my water doesn't start to overflow in the bucket. You definitely don't want any of this going down into the sink, because that will really be some bad times ahead. Once this stuff starts to get hard, it can turn to concrete pretty darn quick, and you don't want that in your pipes. So it's always best to do this outdoors if you can with a garden hose, or It's usually a great idea if you have a spare barrel to use for the final polishing stage. I do actually, but unfortunately it's in use right now. So I don't think I'm going to be able to use that. I think I'll go take a look and see if it is empty in the meantime. So I'll be right back. We'll get this all readied and started up here soon. Alright, so that was a bit of a mess to clean up. I did find my other barrel. I had a bunch of stuff already preloaded into it. I had to dump that out. We're just going to recycle these beads and some of the rocks that got really polished up. Forgot I had some of these in there. It's been in there so long. Look at this really neat piece of chalcedony. It's got some purple in it. That's so beautiful. This is part of a fire agate. You can see some of the orange there on it. But anyway, this is going right back in the tumbler. This is part of an old polishing that I did a long time ago, and I never cleaned it out. Just let it sit in there. A lot of times I'll use these for buffer pieces, so that way I can reuse them again. They make really good buffer. Oh, I should have wiped that down first. I've got another. Yeah, there we go. Wipe this up, because this is not good. Oh boy, that kind of went down, but yikes. Alright, so we'll just take some of this buffer material here and we'll just kind of gently funnel it into this empty, well, it was empty a second ago, soon to be filled with little beads and pellets and some other pre-polished rocks. Wow. Well, that's super cool. I think I'll just set that one aside. It doesn't need to be polished again. I probably should have went through these before I started to... Oh, don't want that rock to be part of that. Always got to be careful because some rocks just aren't meant to be polished. Oh, wow, look at that. That one's cool. Set you aside. All right. Didn't think I was going to use the whole thing, but it looked like I am. Alright. Look at that little last guy. Couple guys hiding right under the rim there. Chuck them in there. And this rock that went down. What in the world are you? Nah, we don't need that in there. Alright. But this... Wow. That one's super cool. Wow. Alright. Let's get the rocks that I do want to polish up and we will put them in there. I think I've got enough room. I think I actually may have added a few too many plastic pellets in here. Alright, so I dumped out the extras that I accidentally put a little bit too many in of. And then the rocks that I'm polishing right here, we're just going to dump these beautiful guys right on in here. Oh man, I can't wait to see those next week. Alright, we'll just get the rest of these guys on there. And that looks about 3/4 full. It's good enough for me. It's got a bunch of good pellets in there, so we'll be able to use those as a really good buffer for cushion. Man, I don't even remember making that rock. That's cool. What happens is a lot of the time I just, I'll make these cabs and I'll set them aside till I get enough of these to fit into a barrel. So some of these are pretty old. I've had them for a long time. It's nice to see some of these again. I didn't even really look through them when I first put them in the tumbler last week. Alright, so we're all good with that right now. What's next? Well, the next thing is we've got to get some good old aluminum oxide wherever I may have put that. Alright, so I've got here my aluminum oxide lapidary polish. This stuff's good. It's made by Lortone. Used to sell it at Lonnie's, which was a local lapidary store here in Phoenix. Unfortunately, it closed down. Lonnie retired. I missed that shop. It was one of my favorite places to go to hang out at. Oh, all the good stores always close down. Well, anyway, we're going to add 2 tablespoons. It's usually recommended to add 3 to 4, but I cheap out all the time because a little bit actually goes quite a long ways. So get yourself a nice, healthy tablespoon here and just dump that in there. And then 1 more. Maybe we'll just add just a little bit more. I don't want to get too carried away. Okay, that looks good. Get that all mixed around. So I always like to look at my barrel one last time before I'll seal it up. It does look like it's at the right level. Perfect. So now all we gotta do is add some water real quick to this guy. Yeah, that looks good. Sometimes if you add too much water, it gets a little bit crazy. Let's take a little bit out. I always use like a little syringe, that way I don't have to dump it. Oh man, which it's jammed right now with clay. There we go. There we go. Looks good now. All right, my rock friends. It's time to seal you up again. Nice and firm. The washer. Lock this bad boy down. No leaks, just how I like to see it. Oh man, this thing's getting so old, it's starting to get a little brittle there on the top. All right, let's go take this back to the tumbler. All right, we're back at the tumbler, ready to get this started. I've got my polished aluminum oxide drum right here. I'm gonna pop this into the barrel. We got our plug. Let's hope we don't have a repeat of last week. Beautiful. I just love that sound. All right, we're in the polishing stage, so we're gonna be right back in just another week where we're gonna dump this out and it's gonna hopefully be beautiful, polished and sparkling cabochons. All right guys, I'll see you next week.